And now, live from the studios of WHUC, this is Real Talk, where we get you something to talk about.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me on another edition of Real Talk. I'm your host, Tiara Jackson. Here with us is Mrs. Andrea Janoush, Vice President of Human Resources. Let's give her a round of applause. For those of you who may not know, Vice President Andrea Janoush is part of the executive leadership team here at Hinds, and she will be explaining a little bit about her role. VP Janoush, you first began work here at Hinds back in February. How was the transition moving into the position?
Lots of learning. So when I came to Hinds, I came from the private sector. So I worked for a large marketing firm. We did direct sales and we were nationwide. And so I had a good background in human resources and also in finance, but in human resources and payroll, and I knew all of those type of functions. It was just really getting to know Hinds and getting to know how the organization works and the structure and all the moving pieces. Hinds has 6 campuses, so getting to know each campus and the culture on each campus, because they're all so different. And so that was really the learning curve for me, but I have a really great team, and my team was able to really rally around me and help me learn in that first. I'm still learning, I will say, but in that first year and a half or so, they've really helped me a lot.
That's good. And so what is the biggest thing as HR at Hinds that you are mainly focusing on?
So right now is open enrollment. So we decided that we would have a mandatory open enrollment this year for all of our Hinds employees. So we currently have around 1,034 employees, full-time employees at Hinds. And so we decided that in order to make sure that our employees really understood the benefit options, that we would meet with each Hinds employee face-to-face during the open enrollment month of October. So that's what we've been working on. We've been on all 6 campuses, meeting with our employees and making sure that they choose the benefits that are best for both them and their family at this time.
Okay, and so you stated that y'all have over 1,000 employees, and what is the current head count at Hinds?
So I will say that we have our largest group of employees are instructors. So we have around 340 instructors, and that's full-time. A majority of our part-time employees are adjuncts. So the largest group of employees that we have at this time are instructors, which makes sense being that we're a community college and that our main goal is to move people and move people and places forward and have people find their purpose, passion, and profession. So.
Okay. And how has the process changed with orientation?
So orientation at Hinds is a 1-day affair for all new employees, and we have asked that all new employees start on an orientation date. So we either have 1 or 2 orientations a month, and the great part that I think is the most exciting part about our orientation right now is that Dr. Vasic, our president, he welcomes the employees to new employee orientation. So he's there, he tells them about his path to Hinds, lets the new employees get to know him, and also they really get a good understanding of what he's looking for in a team member at Hinds. So I think that's very exciting.
Okay. And I understand that you all send a video of new staff and faculty here at Hinds, which is a great way to use media. How are y'all implementing public relations in the HR department? Yeah, so as you mentioned, one of the great things we do is have each new employee, which I will say sometimes they're nervous and a little bit like, oh, I didn't know I was going to be on camera today, but we really tell them to relax, that this is just a great way for all employees, because we have so many employees on so many different campuses. It's a great way for all employees just to hear a little bit about each of our new employees. And so that those videos are actually posted on My.Hinds, on our internal My.Hinds site for all employees to see. Okay. And so as head of human resources, what are the areas you are staffing the most? So instructors are obviously our highest number, and I will say that we've had some turnover, in instructors, and so that's our main focus, is to make sure that we are hiring instructors who are up for the challenge of teaching, all of our courses, and obviously to make sure that they have all the credentials needed to teach courses here at Hinds. And what are your plans for the future as the HR chief? So there's
so many things on my to-do list, but I will say that in HR and really as an executive leadership team, we focus our short-term and long-term goals on our strategic plan. We're about a year into a year into Dr. Vasic's first strategic plan here at Hinds. So it will run from 2021 to 2024, and the Human Resource Department has 4 main goals. And so we really just every day, I have those goals up in my office, and when I have my meetings with directors or my team meetings, I say, okay, so how is this going to fit into one of these 4 goals? And if you keep that in the forefront of your mind, you know that you're always working towards, the main goal of making Hinds great.
How has the HR department been moving forward with the college's mission?
One of our strategic planning goals is to ensure compensation and performance management processes are designed to execute and align and maximize employee performance with the mission, vision, and values of Hinds Community College. So we're working on this in the HR department in 3 ways. One is we are doing supervisor and employee evaluations through our new HCM, which is Workday. And second, we are offering 3 to 4 leadership trainings a year for our leaders across all of our supervisors across all 6 campuses. And this is a great day where everyone can come together. We have outside people come in and train. We do internal training on new processes or anything that's changing, and we call it training the trainers. So then those managers can go and train their teams. The third way is that one of our big goals in HR, but also Dr. Vasic's goals and ELT's goals, is to make sure that Hinds is competitive with our salaries. And this is something that's going to take some research. It's going to take some time. We can't automatically just improve everyone's salaries. If we could, we would. Right. But the Human Resource Department is helping with this process in researching what are good salary scales or best practice salary scales for not only public but private companies and institutions in our area and across the Southeast to make sure that we're in line with those.
Okay, well, thank you. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have more information from VP Janice. Stay tuned.
Real Talk will be right back after this. For more than 4 decades, you have trusted us to be the #1 college news source that cares for you from the beginning to the end. So now, we're proud to say that we've won the Mississippi Association of Broadcasters Awards. And we will continue to try to keep you knowledgeable and focused on stories that are happening around you. We are Hinds' very own WHUC News 7, named #1 by the Mississippi Association of Broadcasters. And now, Real Talk continues.
Welcome back, everyone. Just a quick update. We are here with Mrs. Andrea Janoush, Vice President of Human Resources, and she's going to give us a little bit more information on her role and what all she has planned. Is there anything particular that you're looking into changing this year?
Looking into changing, no, we're just continuing with our strategic plan and those 4 main goals. I will say that one of the very exciting goals and big steps that we've taken this year in human resources, and the goal is to promote an inclusive environment that celebrates diversity and social and cultural awareness. Well, this year, Hinds opened its first diversity, equity, and inclusion office, which we're very excited about. And in this office, we've hired this year a director and a coordinator, and they've really hit the ground running, and they've put out a couple of really great trainings for our employees. They've gone around and did small group meetings with all of our employees, learning sessions at all 6 campuses, just learning about the differences of the campus populations, which has been great. And so I really look forward to see what they do in the near future and, for years to come.
Yes, ma'am. And so also your department is hiring work study students. How has that worked for students who are continuing their education?
We have had a really successful go with the work study students. So we've had 2 work study students so far, and both have been wonderful. They have been on time, they've done whatever has been asked of them, and we really enjoy having them. So anyone that wants to apply for work study students, please do so, because we've really enjoyed our work study students in HR.
That's good. And so recently the news came out with a story about the IRS providing tax inflation adjustments for the tax year of 2023. Is there anything Hinds employees may need to do to prepare for that?
Yes, so it's very important that Hinds employees speak with their CPA or their tax advisors, and then before we go into the next year, go into Workday and go under tax, and you can see how you can make changes or additions there. If you have any questions on how to make those changes, absolutely reach out to the Human Resource Department, but we cannot give actual tax advice. So they would need to, the first step would be to reach out to their financial advisor, their accountant, their CPA, and discuss the implications of the changes on their paychecks, and then we can help them implement those changes in Workday.
Okay, that's very good to know. And is there anything you would like for staff and students to know before we go off air?
Yeah, Human Resources is here to help. We are here to support our staff, and obviously everyone at Hinds is here to support students. So anything that we can do to help and assist with anything, please let us know. We're here.
Thank you so much, VP Janice. We're so glad that you came out here today. And everyone, thank you for watching us on Real Talk. See you again.